Over the years, NASA have conducted various experiments, many of which have been carried out in space. One of the things that NASA boasts is a massive library of photographs, and although some of these don't include anything interesting, there's some that stand out more than others. NASA's Space Shuttle Columbia mission STS-58 was a spaceflight mission carried out to help aid in life science research. NASA said the following about the mission on their website. Countdown proceeded smoothly to liftoff, delayed only by a few seconds because of an aircraft in the launch zone. 14 experiments conducted in 4 areas: physiology, cardiovascular, musculoskeletal and neuroscience. 8 of the experiments focused on crew, 6 on 48 rodents. Crew collected more than 650 different samples from themselves from rodents, increasing stat space for life science research. Combined data from SLS-1 and SLS-2 will help build a comprehensive picture of how humans and animals adapt to weightlessness." End quote. However, during this mission they also took various photographs of our planet. Interestingly, some of these contain anomalies that cause some to ask questions. It's no secret that supposed UFOs have been captured in NASA photographs. In fact, even astronauts themselves have come forward and said they think they've captured UFOs. Although NASA have said there's no proof in these sightings, and that they've never captured a UFO in any of their photographs, other people think this isn't the case. However, NASA have said that everything mysterious can be explained as space debris. Regardless, there's those that believe this isn't the case, and in some older NASA photographs mysterious anomalies can be seen. One old photograph from the STS-58 mission is this one, which appears to show an unidentified flying object. The object in question is black and looks to have 2 wings. It can be seen hovering above the planet, and not far from the STS. What's odd is that many of these strange objects have been witnessed around these older NASA missions, causing some to speculate about what they could possibly be. There's one group of people that believe these are unidentified flying objects, and that they approach our crafts in order to see what we're doing. This idea isn't supported by mainstream scientists, but amateur researchers say this subject needs to be taken more seriously, and that there's thousands of NASA photographs like this that show mysterious objects getting very close to our missions. Of course, when it comes to objects like this, there's always the possibility that it could be space junk, even though, as some have pointed out, many of these objects do appear to look like ships, and not just random pieces of space junk. As mentioned, astronauts have come forward over the years and reported seeing mysterious objects, some of which have flew past them while in space. They've also gone on to detail mysterious glowing objects, large objects that appear to look like ships, and even objects that appear to travel thousands of miles per hour, beating anything that we have on Earth. Interestingly, when images like this get shared, it reminds some of the Black Knight satellite, a strange satellite that's said to have been placed above our planet in order to spy on the human race. Scientists have said there's around 3,000 human-made satellites in orbit around the Earth. After the Soviet Union launched the very first artificial satellite into orbit in 1957, various countries around the world have sought to compete, and satellites today are used for communication, navigation and exploration. One mysterious satellite that's been capturing people's attention for many years is that of the Black Knight satellite. Those who've studied it have said the satellite must be one of the oldest ones orbiting our planet, and that it wasn't placed there by humans. This idea then suggests that the satellite is much older than many human civilizations, causing some to speculate that it could be thousands of years old. This has caused theorists to say that this ancient object is transmitting signals to somewhere in space. This mysterious satellite has been featured in the media since the late 1950s, and it's become one of the most talked about objects in space, with some thinking that this satellite is a spy satellite. One of the first people to allegedly pick up on the object was that of Nikola Tesla, a Serbian-American inventor who would change the world we live in. Those who have been looking for signs of extraterrestrial life have said that this satellite is one of the best pieces of evidence we have so far. It's important to note that researchers and scientists have said the Black Knight satellite is not real, and that what people are seeing is just pieces of space junk. The space above our planet is littered with old satellites and materials, with some researchers saying that space debris that's high in altitude will stay in orbit the longest, with low orbit objects dropping back to Earth within several years. Upon first seeing images like these, people have suggested it could be the Black Knight satellite. One person said the following: "I find the idea of the Black Knight satellite interesting, and firstly it's not a piece of space debris. The famous photographs are the well-known ones, but this satellite has been picked up on for decades, way before the supposed 1998 thermal blanket. Photographs from the 1970s and 80s show a mysterious-looking satellite above our planet, so the thermal blanket theory doesn't hold up, even though I'm sure it does explain some of the sightings. What I find interesting about this satellite though is who placed it there. Why was it placed here? Why is it still being captured in photographs today? Are we actually being monitored? It does sound out there, but the photographs speak for themselves." End quote. As mentioned though, NASA have said these photographs are nothing more than space debris, and that they've never picked up on an ancient satellite above our planet. Space truly is one of the last unexplored frontiers, and it's likely that within the next few decades we'll start venturing into space. The idea of this is exciting, but even scientists have said it's unlikely we'll make it out of our solar system. Space is so vast, and every year researchers make incredible discoveries, all of which help us to understand how monumentally massive the universe is. So although there's no chance of us venturing too far, perhaps that doesn't matter as we're already being visited. It seems that time will tell whether these objects are the real deal, or are just being misidentified. It seems that every year a number of impossible to explain phenomena fills our skies. From sightings of supernatural phenomena to unidentified flying objects, to a number of strange lights and impossible to explain circumstances, it feels as if no story is too far-fetched. One interesting sky phenomena that various people from across the world have been reporting on is that of unexplained cities being seen in the sky. Going back a few days ago, video footage from the Shandong province in eastern China started to emerge. Those that saw the images said it looked like a giant city was floating in the sky. Some quickly said these were normal cloud formations, but many didn't accept this claim, saying that it's quite obvious that there's something up there, even comparing it to the Hogwarts castle from Harry Potter. Others soon started to suggest that the Chinese government was testing some new technology, and that it gives off the illusion that castles and other objects are in the sky. Interestingly, the United States military has come forward and said they are experimenting with holographic lasers, and these will give the illusion that there's objects in the sky that aren't actually there. Back on the 20th of October 2015, there appeared to be a number of sightings all across China of floating cities residing within the clouds. Videos began to surface all across the internet of the strange phenomenon, with the cities seemingly resting amongst the clouds, appearing to be massive skyscrapers floating in the distance, filled with massive constructions and lights bouncing around. When video enthusiasts attempted to explain the footage, rather than finding evidence of a hoax, they only helped to confirm the video's authenticity, of which led to the sightings becoming an internet phenomenon of people attempting to understand what was witnessed. Some claim that the floating city was that of a massive alien spaceship that was floating above the Chinese territories. However, a closer examination of the footage showed that the city was far more human in its design, and seem to bear similar resemblance to a nearby Chinese city, located where the sighting had originally taken place. This led some to claim that perhaps the sighting was that of an experimental Chinese program to allow their cities to take flight to temporarily prevent damage from earthquakes or other natural phenomena. However, the absurdity of this claim became too obvious for the theory to have held any merit. The truth was that the floating city sighting and subsequent video footage was merely that of a Fata Morgana, a common atmospheric illusion that causes images far off in the distance to appear as if they're floating in the sky high above the horizon. The optical illusion occurs when layers of warm and cold air create an atmospheric dust that acts similar to that of a refracting lens, creating an almost mirrored image of the object past the horizon and making it appear as if it's floating amongst the clouds. Such illusions have allowed people to see images of cities far past the curve of the horizon, making it appear as if boats were sailing through the air, or as if cities themselves were built amongst the clouds. Though this phenomenon has become somewhat of an explained natural illusion, such sightings never fail to baffle those witnessing it. Interestingly, there are many that reject the idea of Fata Morgana having been responsible for the Chinese floating cities, claiming that the video shows more than enough evidence of three-dimensional movement that would not have been possible with a refracted image. As mentioned, some don't believe this is a natural phenomena, and go on to suggest that the government is behind these signs, and that they're using HARP technology to create these images. HARP, also known as the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, is a little known yet critically important US military defense program, which has generated quite a bit of controversy over the years in certain circles. Though denied by HARP officials, some researchers allege that secret capabilities of HARP are designed to forward the US military's goal of achieving full spectrum dominance. What's strange is that a few years back, amateur researchers said the United States may achieve this by the year 2020. Others have even stated that HARP can and has been used for weather modification, to cause earthquakes and tsunamis. When strange shapes like this appear in the sky, people tend to say it's HARP, suggesting they're possibly testing new technology. The University of Alaska Fairbanks stated the following on their website: HARP is the world's most capable high-power, high-frequency transmitter for the study of the ionosphere. The HARP program is committed to developing a world-class ionospheric research facility consisting of the following: the Ionospheric Research Instrument, a high-powered transmitter facility operating in the high-frequency range. The IRI can be used to temporarily excite a limited area of the ionosphere for scientific study. A sophisticated suite of scientific or diagnostic instruments that can be used to observe the physical processes that occur in the excited region. Observation of the processes resulting from the use of the IRI in a controlled manner will allow scientists to better understand processes that occur continuously under the natural stimulation of the sun." End quote. Although this sounds like science fiction, humans are able to modify the weather, and interestingly, this has been happening since the 1940s. Scientists have said they can use clouds to rain on certain areas that are lacking water. It's due to this that people have suggested the government could be behind these strange cloud formations. However, some have said it looks to be more natural in origin, and have said that clouds come in many different shapes and sizes. For example, they say that some people confuse lenticular clouds with UFOs. These clouds are a distinctive cloud formation, and have been regularly confused for UFOs throughout history due to their smooth round or oval shape. The clouds are not uncommon, but are most regularly found in mountainous areas, and can appear singular or stacked like pancakes. Interestingly, sky anomalies aren't anything new. For the last few decades, people have been coming forward with their encounters, and stating that unnatural objects appear in the sky, and that the majority of these can't be explained. Theorists have suggested that the majority of these strange anomalies are actually created by secret programs, and that when people sight these objects, it's usually when tests are being carried out. Government officials have denied this though, and say that no strange or out there tests are being carried out by these facilities, and that they're only used to monitor the weather. Scientists have done a great job unraveling some of the mysteries of space, but it's fair to say that we still know very little about the universe. Recently, scientists have even come forward and said the human brain can't truly understand the full scale of it. The Matrix tells us there's no coincidences. This has caused some to say that when you see the same thing over and over, or experience deja vu, this could be a glitch in the Matrix. The last theory that Stephen Hawking was working on before his death was recently revealed. Hawking was working on a theory that the universe may actually be a hologram. The peer-reviewed Journal of High Energy Physics published Hawking's final theory on the universe's origin, titled A Smooth Exit from Eternal Inflation. Hawking isn't the only person to investigate this theory. A UK, Canadian and Italian study has provided what researchers believe is the first observational evidence that our universe could be a vast and complex hologram. People have been coming forward with their strange experiences, but it's these that has caused them to question our reality and purpose. Although it may sound like a joke, many have allegedly experienced glitches in the Matrix, and say that it feels like for a moment that the whole world comes to a standstill. The majority of these happen suddenly, with the eyewitness being left confused about what just happened. In some rare cases though, people are able to capture footage of this playing out. One of these was captured by a man while he was passing Fort Lauderdale Airport. He said that as he was driving past the airport, he looked up to the sky and could see a plane not moving. Thinking it was some trick, he began to record the event. He said that it was like a glitch in the Matrix, and that the plane appeared to not be moving. Take a look at the footage. Some people were quick to give their opinions, saying that they've seen similar things. One person said the following: "I saw something like this and it was really weird. I was driving past and the plane wasn't moving. It was like it was stuck in the sky." While another person said the following: "I find videos like these really interesting, but I think I can explain it. It's an optical illusion caused by the current plane going in opposite directions. It just makes it look like the plane isn't descending, but in reality it is." Other people have spoken about their encounters with glitches in the Matrix. This girl encounters something strange while visiting a family member. They said the following: "I'm a 20-year-old female, and every summer since I was around 7 or 8, me and my family have been travelling up to New York to visit friends and family. The majority of the time we spend on our vacation is at my Uncle Joey's house in the Hamptons. One summer when I was between 10 or 11 years old, I remember having dinner with my mum, dad, brother and uncle. It was our first night in the Hamptons on this particular vacation, and I remember going food shopping beforehand. My mum cooked my uncle a meal as he wasn't in a relationship at this time, so great home-cooked meals were scarce for him. After having eaten this incredible meal and being fully satisfied, I went upstairs to take a nap in the room I was staying in. This was my Uncle Joe's office. I lay down on the couch and vividly remember seeing my brother playing a game. He had his headphones on and was talking to his friends online. As the food was hitting me, I just curled up on the couch and closed my eyes, dozing off to the sound of his voice. After that, I was jolted awake by my mother yelling and shaking me, She was screaming at the top of her lungs, tears in her eyes, asking where I'd been. I had no idea what she was talking about. My whole family then proceeds to come upstairs and question where I'd been for the last 30 minutes, and that they'd searched every inch of the house, even going out on the street looking for me. I told them the truth, that I was here taking a nap, but my mum didn't believe a word I said. She was furious in calling me a liar. She told me I couldn't come downstairs unless I told them the truth. This was incredibly hard because I wanted to convince them that I'd really not been playing tricks on them. I had been upstairs the whole time and that I fell asleep next to my brother. But I knew it wouldn't work. I knew in this state of mind they would never believe me. I'd just gone missing for 30 minutes and was nowhere to be found. I'd really scared my parents, and my mum is incredibly emotional and sensitive. My uncle had told me that he thought his crazy neighbour next door had kidnapped me. Long story short, I had to confess and tell them that it was a prank. We moved past it quickly and of course enjoyed the rest of the vacation. I haven't brought it up in a while, but since then I've tried to tell them it wasn't a prank, and that I really don't know what happened, but they don't believe me. I know I won't ever get a solid explanation for this, but I just want to know if anyone has a theory of what this could have been. I haven't had any past experiences with sleepwalking. This house is also a little old and creaky, so it would be hard to move around swiftly without getting caught. If I did hide in my sleep, wouldn't they have found me if they searched every inch of this house? It's a question that I'll have to live with forever, but I can't think of any reasonable explanation other than the paranormal. So what do you guys make of this strange story? Also, what do you make of the plane video? Do you think it's a glitch? Or do you think it's where the car and plane is moving in the opposite direction? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.